Hey guys, it's Sarah. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel if you've been here before. What's up? Today we are doing a true crime and makeup, but when I do true crime and makeup, I do celebrity true crime and makeup because nobody's talking about celebrity true crime and I don't know why. Celebrities are some of the biggest criminals ever. Today we are talking about the young, the talented, but the very wicked Tay-K. His case has been very controversial because of his age, the fact that he makes music, and it's a lot. Okay, it's kind of a sticky situation. I already know that I am not Bailey Syrian and I never will be. I'm not trying to be, so feel free to not comment that. Okay, on every true crime and makeup video on YouTube that's not made by Bailey Syrian, I feel like in the comments you always see at least one or two comments that's like, you took this from Bailey Syrian, you're not Bailey Syrian. I didn't say I was Bailey Syrian. I love her, I adore her, and I am 100% inspired by her. But like I said, my true crime is celebrity true crime. Okay? Okay. If you are interested in hearing about the life, the criminal activity, and the charges of Mr. Tay-K, then keep watching. Tay-K was born Tamor Trayvon McIntyre. I believe it's McIntyre. It could be McIntyre, but I feel like it's McIntyre. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. He was born June 16th, 2000, which makes him a Gemini. And at present day, he is only 20 years old. Two things about this. When I first heard June 16th as his date of birth, I was like, he's not a Cancer, is he? But no, that's Gemini. And I was like, thank God, because us Cancers cannot have this type of track record. We get it bad enough, people calling us crybabies. And I'm not even like saying this to be funny. For 20 years old, the record, like the lengthy record that he has for his age, is impressive. There should be a word for impressive in a bad way. Like how infamous is like famous, but like not for something pretty great, you know? Like there should be a word for impressive in a bad manner. Both Tay-K's mother and father were gang affiliated. They were both Crips. And while Tay-K was young growing up, his father was incarcerated. At 8 years old, Tay-K's mom moved herself and Tay-K and his sister from Long Beach, California to Las Vegas, Nevada. And then later on, his father was released from prison and he moved the family to Arlington, Texas in search for a better life, a safer life, a better environment to raise his children. Arlington, Texas is where Tay-K goes to middle school and high school. And just a quick side note, every time I hear of like the city of Arlington, Texas, I think of Arlen, Texas from King of the Hill, because like that's not a real city. Arlen isn't a real city, and I'm obsessed with King of the Hill, so yeah, that has nothing to do with the story. Tay-K first got into music in 2014. Him and some friends of his started a rap group called the Daytona Boys. It was him, his friend Pimpsy, and his friend Santana Sage. Those were their stage names, obviously. Their real names were not Pimpsy and Santana Sage. If you listen to Tay-K's music, then you've probably heard those names before. In his music, he's like, free Pimpsy man, free Santana, you know. That's who he started his rap career with. In December of 2014, they released a song called Drift. This was the first of their songs to, you know, get a little buzz. Get the boys some eyes looking at them for the first time. This was like the first song to start to grab some attention. And Tay-K continued to make songs, a lot of which were popularized after his arrest. We'll get there. In terms of music, he is most known for his song, yep, you guessed it, The Race, which was released while he was actively on the run. He was literally doing the race. His first known like criminal activity was in 2015. He witnessed a murder that was committed by his friend Santana, the one who goes by Santana Sage. Santana Sage, real name is actually Eric Jamal Johnson. When I heard that, I was like, where the hell did he get the nickname Santana from? That ain't got nothing to do with nothing, but anywho. At a New Year's party, Santana got into a verbal altercation with a woman. The young woman's name was Sarah, I don't want to mess this up, Moltschlechner. It sounds German and I cannot pronounce it. So they were both in their cars, like Santana and Tay-K are in their car, and then Sarah, the victim, is in her car. The verbal altercation escalates and Santana shoots at Sarah. Santana shoots Sarah twice. One of the bullets entered her skull and killed her, unfortunately. Although Tay-K was present, he was not charged in the murder of Sarah, and so he walked free. However, Mr. Santana Sage was sentenced to 44 years in prison. 44. In July of 2016, Tay-K and 6 accomplices. 6. Homeboy had a team. Tay-K and 6 accomplices were arrested on capital murder charges in relation to a home invasion robbery situation, and it left one person dead. Tay-K and his friends were trying to rob a 19-year-old local drug dealer named Zachary Beloit. I think that's how you pronounce his name. I apologize if I am butchering that. 2 young women were involved, Megan Holt and Ariana Barrett or Barat. They were 19 and 20. And what the 2 girls, what their job was to seduce Mr. Zachary as a distraction and to unlock his door so that Tay-K and others can come into his home. So this works, and Tay-K and others enter and they attempt to rob Zachary. Zachary's friend Ethan Walker was present as well. As Tay-K and his accomplices were attempting to leave the scene of what was supposed to just be a robbery, a confrontation ensues. And remember how I said his friend, Zachary's friend, Ethan Walker, was present at the time of the robbery? One thing leads to another, and this confrontation leaves Zachary's friend, Ethan Walker, leaves him shot and killed. Now, Tay-K was arrested because of this. Like I said, him and the 6 accomplices were arrested on capital murder charges. And while he was awaiting his hearing, he was placed on house arrest. You know where this is going, okay? You know exactly where this is going. A few days before the trial, Tay-K, he got an idea. He got a bright idea. He cut off his ankle monitor and he said, you know what, this house arrest shit, it ain't for me. And he fled to San Antonio, Texas. Right before doing this, he did something that became a meme, okay? It's not funny, you know, people's lives were lost. However, I'm gonna put his tweet up on the screen. Right before he decided to flee because he was not trying to go to jail, Tay-K tweeted this: "Fuck this house arrest shit. Fuck 12. They gonna have to catch me on hood." It's poetic. It's poetic. There's no other way to describe it. So while he's on the run in 2017 in San Antonio, Texas, him and 2 accomplices allegedly try to rob a man named Anthony Saldivar. They were trying to rob him for photography equipment, and they somehow lured him, allegedly, they lured him to their black SUV in an attempt to rob him. Saldivar was not going down without a fight, okay? Mr. Anthony said, "Y'all ain't robbing." So the robbery was unsuccessful, and unfortunately, Tay-K allegedly shot and killed this 23-year-old man. And honestly, that is so sad to me. Like, That man lost his life at 23 because somebody was trying to take something that didn't belong to them. Like that, it hurt my heart. Like, honestly, that was one of the hardest parts to read when I was doing research about this. That man was 23 years old and lost his life because of a failed attempt at a robbery. I hate that. I hate that. I hate that. Now, that was in April of 2017. Then in May of 2017, still on the run from the police, you guys, still on the run, Tay-K allegedly robs a man named Oni Pepe. His nickname is Skip, so I'm going to refer to him as Skip. Tay-K allegedly robbed Skip at gunpoint just a month after trying to rob Mr. Anthony and taking his life. Oh my God, I can't even get over it. So sad. So Tay-K knocked him unconscious and robbed him. And later, Skip was able to point Tay-K out in a lineup as the perpetrator of this crime. I guess one thing about Tay-K, he gonna rob somebody. I guess if he ain't gonna do nothing else, he's gonna rob somebody, apparently. So, still on the run from the police, this fool makes it all the way to New Jersey, okay? He was on the run in Texas. If I'm not mistaken, Texas and Jersey are kind of far from one another, but he's OTR, baby. He's on the run, and he makes it out of Texas and into New Jersey. While in New Jersey, he recorded his song, The Race. Like I said, this is the song he's most known for. Even if you don't know any other Tay-K songs, you most likely know that one. F a beat, I was trying to beat a case. Y'all know the vibes, okay? So he recorded that song while he was still on the run in New Jersey. And here's the irony in this. That song and music video were released the same day that he was captured. He was captured by the U.S. Marshal Service in New Jersey. He put up a good fight, didn't he? He really thought he was above the law. He put up a damn good fight. Now, remind you, he caught that capital murder charge because of the death of Ethan Walker at the failed armed robbery. He caught that charge back in July of 2016. And almost a year later, he was captured. Like, he was successfully on the run, okay? Let's at least give him props for being a good criminal. Because when you're into true crime, you hear stories about a lot of idiot criminals. And although a criminal is a criminal and, you know, a sin is a sin, doing something bad is doing something bad, at least he was successful in running for at least a year. That's kind of impressive. July 21st of 2017 is when he was transferred to an adult jail. And then August 30th, he had a hearing to determine if he would be tried as an adult or child. And y'all know how the justice system is. Of course, he would be tried as an adult. To be clear, I'm not saying he didn't deserve to be, you know, charged or anything like that. I'm just saying, like, we are talking about a African-American male who has committed some pretty heinous crimes. Like, y'all know how the justice system is. Of course, they have reason to try him as an adult. They're going to try him as an adult. At this time, his lawyers were saying they were confident that all charges would be dropped, that Tay-K would be free of all charges. They were hopeful at this time, in August of 2017. They were hopeful. They thought they were gonna beat the case, shall I say. But then September of 2017 rolls around and an additional capital murder charge was added to Tay-K's case because police were alleging that they had footage of the incident in San Antonio with Mr. Anthony Saldivar. The police said that they had footage that proved that Tay-K was in the vehicle at the time of the shooting. The way that this information was worded kind of confused me a little bit, but nevertheless, the police believe they had additional evidence And so Tay-K had an additional capital murder charge now. His lawyers attempted to argue that because Tay-K's case was started in the juvenile system, and the juvenile system does not have a bail or bond system in place, that under Texas law, Tay-K should be granted a bail or bond. But the judge denied this, and a part of the reason, the judge explained that he felt like Tay-K's crimes had been glorified. And honestly, I don't know. I feel like it's fair and it isn't. He also said that Tay-K was highly violent, which is true. Like, he has committed some crazy violent crimes. So yeah, he needs to sit in jail. But don't make the reason that his crimes are being glorified, because like Tay-K didn't do that. You know what I mean? Like, was he rapping about it? Yeah, but he didn't tell. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't like that reasoning. It feels weird to defend like a murderer though. So I'm just gonna shut up. I'm not gonna die on this hill. While Tay-K was in jail, he was charged with possession of a prohibited item. And this was in August of 2018. They found a cell phone hidden in his sock. Guys, I know I'm incredibly childish, but when I heard that, all I could think about is that song, "In New York I Merely Rock." How did it was up? He was then sent to a maximum security jail, and they had him spending 23 hours a day in solitary confinement and 1 hour of gym time. To me, that is cruel and unusual punishment. Like, solitary confinement is awful. I can't believe that that's still... Actually, I can. I just remembered I live in America. I believe that it's still a thing, but it's just disgusting. I think solitary confinement is so fucked. It's been reported that while at the maximum security jail, he would like yell at and curse at the sergeant that was there, and that he would threaten him as well, and also that he would like throw his lunch trays and go over his allotted phone time. And again, I am not here to like defend a murderer. However, if you're in solitary confinement 23 hours a day and you get a little bit of phone time, you're not gonna want to be on the phone for just 3 little minutes or 5 minutes or whatever. Like, that's just awful. I feel like solitary confinement is sick. That can mess with your facial recognition, man. Like, you really start to go crazy. Humans are not meant to experience things like that. I feel like solitary confinement should be in the same boat as the death penalty. Like, don't play God. You don't get to play God and say that somebody gets to die, or say that somebody has to spend almost 24 hours, with nothing to look at. I'm not even saying, like, don't give him a TV to watch. Like, don't give him privileges, but make him sit in his cell. Solitary confinement is just... I don't know. I think it's sick. I don't care who it is. I think it's sick. July 15th of 2019 was the first day of his trial. He pled guilty to 2 counts of aggravated robbery in relation to the home invasion case. On July 19th, just 4 days later, the jury found him guilty of murder and of 3rd-degree aggravated robbery. He faced between 5 and 99 years or life in prison for each one of his charges. That is crazy as hell to me. Like, that is a huge gap. For every one of his charges, he could have been facing just 5 years or up to 99 years or a life sentence. Like, America's legal system, like America's criminal justice system, is so weird. It's so strange. And now I'm going to actually read his charges. So forgive me if I'm not looking at the camera, I'm reading them. On July 23rd of 2019, he was sentenced 55 years in prison for the murder charge and 30 years in prison for just one of the counts of aggravated robbery, and 2 13-year sentences for the other 2 counts of aggravated robbery. The sentences will be served concurrently, and I don't think I said that right. Concurrently. Come on, vocabulary. The prison sentences will be served concurrently, and he will be eligible for parole after no less than 27.5 years. And because of all 3 robbery charges, he was fined $21,000. And lastly, in November of 2019, a grand jury indicted him for capital murder in the Saldivar murder case. Honestly, all jokes aside, rest in peace to every single victim that I mentioned, but especially to Anthony Saldivar. He was only 23 years old. Like, I think it just really hits home for me because I'm 21. Like, I feel really close in age to him, and I can't imagine my life being taken from me. Like, at this young age, I still have so much I want to do. But I think Ethan Walker was even younger than Mr. Anthony. Like, that's just so sad to me. He took the lives of, like, some young people that had so much ahead of them, and it makes me sick. All right, guys, that is the life, criminal history, and charges of the very young and very talented Tay-K. It's always crazy to me how, like, as a society, we as people in the media, we're always willing to, like, ignore people's wrongdoings or absolve people of their wrongdoings because they're talented. Does Tay-K have a couple songs that I like? Yes. Does that mean that he should be let out of prison and not charged for what he's done? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's like, look how long it took R. Kelly to just finally be held accountable for the things he was doing because he was talented and people were excusing it. That's just inappropriate. And it's a shame that Tay-K is kind of being made an example out of for other artists. That's how I feel. I feel like other artists are gonna look at Tay-K and be like, dang, I can't be effing around because Tay-K was only 16 and he got indicted on this, and he's gonna be in jail forever. And even if he does become, like, eligible for parole and he's able to get out on parole, that's after 27.5 years. Like, that's just crazy. I don't know how I feel about him being tried as an adult. I always kind of feel funny about that because, like, at 16, your decision-making skills are not where they will be when you're, say, 30 or even 25, because you're still developing those skills well into your mid-20s. So I don't know. I don't feel like anybody being tried as an adult under 18 is really just or fair. However, he did choose, you know, he did make some very conscious decisions to do some very horrible crimes. Let me know what you guys think down below. I'm really interested to hear. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please suggest me more celebrity true crime. If you are new, subscribe. Follow me on my social medias. I'll see you guys in my next video. Mwah! Bye.